What's up, guys? Good morning and welcome to another episode of Views for Build. Behind me is a scene that, we always like to see. It's the Burntacan up on the trailer and we are ready to head off to our track day. Before I start this episode, I want to say that we filmed a track day prep episode where some really interesting stuff happened and we were getting our cars kind of ready, so the guys were testing their cars for longer drives. Some stuff happened there. Oscar made some mods. I caught the Huracan on fire on the dyno and some other stuff. We did some dyno tuning and stuff like that. So if you want to see that, that's on our second channel called Behind the Build. I'll put a link in the description, so if you kind of want to watch these in order, go watch that video and then come back to this one. We're getting our morning started pretty early, packing up, and then we're heading 2 hours east to the track. Now we've got this track fully rented out just for ourselves, and it's not just a normal circuit style track. We're going to be able to do autocross, 8th mile racing, drifting, burnouts, whatever we want to do. Should be completely free reign, which is going to be really fun, and I'm really excited. So let's get packed up and get on the road. We have arrived. So this is our playground for the day. So this goes down about a quarter mile that way. Right now it's all set up for slalom and a little bit of basic autocross. That's how we'll get started, and then we can play around with it however we feel like it. So the cars did great coming out here, no problems. It's about a 2-hour drive. Both those cars did great. Towing went fine. So we're gonna go ahead and get the Huracan off now and get its correct wheels on. And then we're ready to start testing. We made it, we did a quick lap, and I already found something that's wrong. We kind of knew about this already, but again, this is the first time we've ever driven this thing like on a street for a long distance, so these are the things we're gonna find. But there is a piece of underplating on the Huracan that needs to be bolted up, because as soon as I get to any speed, the wind is pushing it down, it's slapping against the ground and stuff, and it's a little bit distracting. So we're gonna go ahead and jack it up, get underneath there, fasten it up to the bottom, and then hopefully we can get our day started. Made some quick changes. We pulled off some of this like undercarriage stuff that we really didn't need in there in the first place, so we popped that off of both sides that was dragging on the ground. I jumped into the ECU and I actually turned all the boost down. So now we're on wastegate spring pressure, which is 7 pounds of boost. That gives us around 500 to 600 horsepower, which is more like, that's plenty for what these tires can handle grip wise. So although it sounds really cool and fun to be driving around 800 or 900 horsepower, it's just, I couldn't even get fully into the throttle in any gear because it'll just spin the tires off. So turn that down a little bit. Hopefully it'll make it a little bit more fun to drive and a little less sketchy. I'm not a pro drifter. I'm not a pro driver. I'm not a pro anything. So, safety first. So it's time to go for a more mannered drive. I'm actually just going to try and drive this thing like I normally would down the street and see if anything goes wrong. I'm going to go ahead and just go through the course a couple times, feel my way through the course real casually. We'll bring you guys along, see how it goes. That was interesting. So it was great to get to drive the car, actually around a little bit. That was no throttle in any gear really. What's happening is around the long sweeping kind of bends, the car is bucking. I'm thinking it's fuel starvation. So it's almost like it's like starving the engine, and then as soon as it gets its fuel back, it's giving it to us and then it's smashing it through. So it feels insane because once it picks back up, I mean, it really picks up. But it's like bucking. And I don't think that there's any way I can do autocross because obviously you're doing a lot of tight bends like the whole time. But one thing we will try and do is top her up with fuel. If you watched our episode on the second channel, we only got about 5 gallons in here, and it's probably a 16-gallon tank would be my guess. So we're definitely not full on fuel. So we got another 10 gallons in the truck. We're gonna go ahead and load that up, and then we're gonna walk the track and actually learn the track, because I was just flying through here for fun doing whatever, just not hitting cones. But we're gonna walk the track and learn the track, and then we're gonna do autocross. So it's gonna be Oscar versus Kyle, and if I can get this thing to act a little bit more normal, I'll give it a try. But don't expect this car to win any autocross right now, because it's very hard to drive. To be very fair, our tuner that tuned this car last time said he just tuned it for full power and do not drive it on the street, or don't try and drive it around like this because it's a super ugly tune. I tried to tune it up yesterday, but I'm not a tuner either, so I clearly made no good changes, might have made bad changes. So, you know, but we're out here to really learn about this car, learn what's going on with it and stuff like that, and this whole bucking around the corners things, this is an important thing to learn. So we're gonna try and solve it right now, and we'll see what happens. I would say though, it'd be a really weird problem and pretty unexpected, because we are using a stock Lamborghini fuel tank, and we're putting the fuel in the same spot, but sometimes you really gotta like drop the fuel right onto the fuel pump and stuff like that. So you know, it just could be some weird thing that we don't know about. We're learning. It's a new platform, you know. We walked the course, and the guys are now kind of just very gingerly test driving the course to get a feel for it. I will try it in the Huracan, but I'm gonna definitely try it in their car too. They have a bad history of beating me in every motorsport event, so don't be surprised if I don't put down the best time. I think Kyle's car is gonna win in this by a pretty long shot, but hopefully it'll be competitive. These two are actually really good drivers. Every time we go go-karting, they always are at the top of the scoreboard, so it'll be really interesting to see how this goes. All right, Oscar, you ready? All right. Oscar, that was an official 32 seconds.
That was horrible.
32.339. So we're gonna write that down.
All right.
We'll let Kyle have a couple runs.
It felt pretty good, but the car is very, very
tail happy.
Tail happy, yes.
Is it a little bit like a Mustang, you think?
It's more. I think it's more than a regular Mustang.
Oh, looks like he's actually driving this time. That's more like it. .82. Oscar beat you by 2 whole seconds.
Yeah, he didn't do as much drifting as I did.
A little less drifting. Yeah, great job. Great job on your second run.
Burning out the whole way to the first gate.
It looked fantastic. All right, go ahead. We'll give it a third run. We're gonna give Kyle a third run, and then we're gonna give Oscar one more run as well. Kyle got a time of 30.764, but he hit a cone. 2-second penalty, which means we're going back to your other one, which was what, 30.88?
30.8.
Alrighty, Kyle's at 30.8. Oscar's gonna get one more run, and then it's my turn behind the wheel in that car? I don't know. Kyle, what's your prediction? I'm thinking he does Mustang things. He's gonna push it too hard, Mustang things, yeah, full spin out. Yeah, he's going around this time. Oscar got a 31.229 officially. I'm gonna feel good if I get within a couple seconds of that. All right, I'm gonna suit up, get in Kyle's car. All right, since I modified this car, I know a couple little secrets. One of them is that if I start in second gear, it'll go a lot faster. The other is that if you don't run air conditioning, obviously your car's gonna be faster. So we'll see how I do. This is my first, I'm just gonna get a feel for the track here. I think I could improve on that.
That's very good.
I didn't feel like I was driving very good, so. All right.
Kyle's got you beat by 9/10.
Yeah, all right. Okay, this is my actual actual first go at this. I still don't really remember the course, but I'm also gonna kind of brake boost my launch a little bit. So we'll see how this goes. Redo, 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 that's... That stop box looks a lot further on. It looks so much longer when you're looking at it on the street.
You beat Kyle's time. Yeah.
I beat Kyle!
You beat Kyle!
I wanted something! You hear that?
That is awesome.
Whew. Oh, that felt good.
Now take the Mustang out. I want to see you guys drive the Mustang.
You know what this means? You're the fastest in that car.
Let's see Kyle.
So far I was the fastest in that car. Now we got to get you in Kyle's car and see what happens.
So I don't have to drive this one back. I'm gonna to the moon.
He shifted in third. .7. So he's in second?
But he hit a cone. I hit a cone though.
Ah! You're out of it.
I'm out. No.
You're completely out of it.
2 seconds.
All right, let's fuel up the Huracan. Give her a rip. Got some Top Gear shit happening at the track here. Oregon's on fire right now. If you can see out there, it's really bad. Really, this whole valley's covering in smoke. So that guy's gonna go fill up with water and dump it on the fire to help it. It's out of control though, anyways. So
The only good news is we have more track now.
the track just got longer. Victory! Okay, so the problem was definitely with putting fuel in the tanks. I did a terrible lap as far as driving wise. I had way too much wheel spin off the brake, but the car's just so fast. Even with all the understeer and everything, like, it was epic. 30.549, the fastest car here. Thankfully is the one that costs more than all of those times 10, so yes! All right, now that we've had our fun, it's time to show you guys what they can actually do on this course. So this is the guy that hooked us up with this track from Bridge City Auto Sports, and I want to thank them so much. I'm gonna put a link in the description. If autocrossing looks fun, you guys need to check out their website. And this Fox body is built for this. You can see he's got the PDX carpet interior. And he's gonna show you what an actual time looks like on this track. Oh my God, it's so much faster than us through there.
Well, that's way different.
I knew it'd be so much different than us. $25.85. All right, boys, next up, drag racing. We're gonna do one at a time, just for safety, and this is gonna be 8th mile drag race. We'll run all our cars against each other and see the times that we put down in an 8th mile. This is no prep track or anything like that, so don't be looking at actual 8th mile numbers on the internets. This is just whose car's fastest here. An untuned 900 horsepower car versus, no, I turned mine down to 500 or 600. Dude, when my tail flew out over there, that was like 50% throttle, and then once it got into the boost, it was like, oh God. Like, did you see the speed that car is traveling? And then you just mat it and it'll still just rip the tires. Like, it's got so much torque. All right, let's set up the track. We've got our 8th mile set up, but it's an 8th mile. The reason being is actually that guy right there, which, hey, we're in full support of firefighters and everything, and they're using the end of the track as a parking spot. So we're like, no problem, guys. We want to keep it safe for everybody. So we brought it in 160 feet. So it's actually a 500 foot rather than an 8th mile. It's just 100 and something feet short. Doesn't really change much for us, and we need a really, really safe stopping distance because you saw even with Autocross not going fast at all, it could take a while to stop some of these cars. So we're gonna let that guy park, and we'll get down to the end of the park. Yeah, we're gonna let him land, and then we'll get down to the end of this end here, and we have a timing light, and we have our same timing system, so we'll be able to tell you guys exactly how fast each one of these cars run in our shortened 8th mile. All right, so here we are at the start. Oscar's gonna run first. Everybody's gonna do 2 runs. You can see that set of cones down there. That is the stopping point, and then we're gonna be at the light waiting for the person to not hit the brakes fast enough and fly off the edge. What do you think, timing-wise? So a fast-ish car, like when I bought my Lexus, they said it ran a 7-second 8th mile. So we're 100 feet shorter. What do you think?
What was that Lexus supposed to be pushing?
400 horsepower?
I go a little bit, it'll take a little longer than that.
So, okay, I think 7 is good. Kyle's saying over 7.
8.
8 seconds? That would be terrible.
7.5 then.
7.5, alrighty. .2. 7.2. Not bad. All right, Oscar's final run. Looking a lot better. A lot better. On the brakes, Oscar. 7.2. All right, Kyle, you're up. 7.2 to beat. I think you'll smash it.
I think so.
Here he goes.
He's going.
So that's second. Third, a little bit of third. 7.13. Pretty good, 7.13.
That feel good.
Yeah, it felt good?
Yeah.
So you did second, shifted into third, and then you're good?
Third, yeah.
All right, one more run.
All right.
Nice. 7.0, 7.5. Take that, heat soak. 7.075.
That was good.
Nice. All right, go ahead and park it. I'll get the Huracan out. I mean, we built a 6-second Huracan, right?
Test out that stopping.
Yeah, I'm gonna do a practice run on my first run. Definitely want to test out the stopping range. I don't have ABS, so it's a totally different ballgame with stopping this car. And keep in mind, guys, we're not on the drag slicks or anything, so this isn't gonna be some crazy stuff. I'm just gonna, and I'm at about 500 to 600 horsepower, give or take. Not really sure. So let's do our best here. Okay, I'm going for my test run. it's got all the water pumps running now and all the fans. I can't turn those off to crank the engine, but yeah, it doesn't want to crank.
Yeah, it's just too much power draw.
I can't keep the fucking thing going. If I were to get a decent start, it would be fine, but every time that was just like a bog start.
Yeah.
Kyle put down a 7.
Yep.
Ah!
Damn you, Kyle.
Built this thing for the tires. Just like you guys see, if I push it too hard in second gear, like if I mat it, it just spins the tires no matter what speed I'm going. Burntacan did not succeed at doing the thing that we built it for. Not because it's not working, well, it's because of the tires. I mean, we don't have enough traction and we don't have enough control. We don't have traction control, we don't have wheel speed. A lot of different things, you know. I can't turn down the power anymore to make it more tame. And I don't know if you could see what was happening on the video though, but as soon as I would really get into throttle, it was very hard to start, couldn't get any type of a launch off. And then as soon as I would get into throttle, the car would just step out to the side, which is really sketchy. And definitely can't like pedal through that. I can't, at least. So I kept having to get out of it and then just never got anything together. And then the car just randomly shut off, so we're starting to think that there might be a short in there. That might be a little electrical gremlin, because it really shouldn't be shutting off like that. There are some interesting fail safes that I have built into the engine that, I mean, it could have been doing that if we hit low oil pressure, but I really doubt it. So it's an interesting thing. It's happened a couple times when I'm like on a sweeping bend, so I don't know. It could be that we have oil starvation and that's why it's shutting off. But so we're gonna give it some time to cool down. And right now we're setting up a figure 8 to do a little bit of drifting. So I won the first one, Kyle won the second one. We'll do a little bit of drifty figure 8 action, see who wins that one. Hopefully the Burntacan will be back up and running and we're ready for that. It's too close to the cone. He's like, oh, he's still trying to like. That was pretty good.
5 points, right?
Yeah, 5 points are in a code. So don't try and start the burnout with your wheels straight. So you're slowing the vehicle down. Just let the vehicle so just drive at that cone like you would normally drive, right? So just basically do this. Back up, go over there, come up to the cone at about 15 to 20 miles an hour, dab of the brakes, shift the car right away from the cone, and then left towards the cone full throttle. And then just try and do a donut around that main cone.
All right.
Understeering. Yep. Kyle drives an all-wheel drive car every day, so I don't think he's got to do a lot of hoonigan stuff like that. So I'm excited to see what Oscar does. I just hope he doesn't shred a tire. Still have to drive home on these. It's so tail happy. Around the cone. You should try actually going around the cone. All right, don't keep the wheels spinning for no reason, because you're losing too much tire. I think we took all the weight out of the back of the thing, and now it just wants to move around. There he goes. Nope. He's pissed. Something flew off your car. Big? We'll see. Kyle's gonna go pick it up. All right, let's go try and get the Burntacan out here. Sad day for the Burntacan, guys. Came around another, I kind of did a tight whip. As soon as it caught, I just killed the whole system, and then when I went to start it back up again, it acted really crazy bad. So yeah, that's that race car life. First test out. Did a little bit of burning out. It was completely uncontrollable, like 100% uncontrollable. All right, guys, post-game wrap-up. Did you have fun?
It was tons of fun.
That was good.
That's great.
Not as good of a driver as I thought I was.
I thought you guys would smoke me on the autocross. I was happily surprised.
Yeah.
I'd like to do
So,
more.
Kyle's car, definitely better drag racing.
And
autocross. And donuts, because it's not such crazy tail happy. So out of those two cars, Kyle's car was the better decision to build a high horsepower car.
Yep.
Oscar's car also costs 3 times as much as Kyle's car.
Yep.
Oh yeah, we should wrap up and tell people about kind of the cost. Your car, the donor car that we bought, was about $8,000, and then
for the
shell that we
Mustang.
put on, yeah, that was about say $1,500 because we took a bunch of parts off of it before it went on there. So, and then that was about it. That was seriously all the money we put onto it that we had to put on it. Kyle's car was like a $1,500 car with a body kit that was never going to be used. So let's say that was another $1,000, and then about $1,500 in mods. So that was about $4,000 and just kicked ass. That car cost me, I'm closer to $200,000, and well, actually I'm kidding. I don't think it really cost $200,000. Probably it was much cheaper. I hope. It did win an autocross, so it did really well at things where I could drive it in partial throttle. Once I started giving it full throttle, we started spinning the tires, which then hit the rev cut, which then was pretty hard on the engine. So it's like an ignition cut, you have extra fuel in there. It's really hard on the engine. I noticed when I was flooring it in second gear, the injectors were only at 3% of the duty cycle. So it's like, the injectors are very big on this car. We might want to see if Deechworks will help us maybe go a little bit smaller because we're not really trying to hit like 2,000 horsepower on the build. So I had a lot of problem with that. And you know what, a big lesson or a big takeaway is get your car fully tuned and then go try and drive it around. Why is it dark everywhere I am? Guess because I'm in the shade. Anyways, yeah, it wasn't really a fair fight having this thing that basically be on half a tune trying to get it out there and rip it. And we know we need traction control. So the next steps that we do on this thing will probably be closer to drag racing season. But we're gonna definitely get it tuned before then. So we'll send it off to a tuner, and then we're gonna look at some electrical gremlins. We think that we have some sort of a shorting issue, or possibly we were hitting a fail-safe. So it was one of those two things. But this was good. This was a fun track day. We had a lot of fun. These guys learned their cars a little bit better. And then, now we found out what to do next for the Burntacan and what it really needs. And I felt the insanity that it was to try and handle that much horsepower. It's not easy at all. So also got to get those slicks on there next time for sure. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. B is for build. You guys always comment that you want to see us come out and use our cars. We used the cars today. I hope you're happy. In the next episode, we're going over to the boat. We're working on my boat. We're gonna fix it up, and then we're gonna take it out to the ocean. So make sure you tune in for that one. Thank you guys so much for joining us, and we'll see you on the next one. Peace!
Come on.